Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we are going to have a look at a map that we've seen very recently, as in yesterday. Well, we're not really going to have a look at the map, but we do need to review one part of that show. If you were here yesterday, you'll know that something went wrong and I didn't get a chance to put it right. And I held up my hands and I said, hey, listen, I haven't got a chance to put this right. Fortunately, today we'll be able to put it right. But why didn't I put it right yesterday? Why the hell? What am I doing? Sitting on my hands here? What am I doing? Well, actually, things have been going a little bit wrong. Things have been going a lot a bit wrong. And in fact, for the last 48 hours up to yesterday, I was struggling with the worst headache. And it was caused by something outside of my control. So I've got some behind the scenes video for you. This has never been before seen on WhatsMap ever. A little bit of behind the scenes taken at 2 AM. And here's why I was a little bit grumpy and a little bit unable to get my head around getting things fixed. Over to me. Can you hear that? Not sure if the mic's picking it up. This is why I'm not sleeping tonight. Let me go downstairs and take you for a little walk to the cause of that whistle. Okay, at the front door now. Let's take a little stroll, just a few doors down. And here it is. Yes, high-pitched whistling coming from the unit next door to where I am. We're in the middle of summer, glorious heat wave, and, well, either sleep with the window open with that whistling or sleep with the window closed and have it about 40 degrees. I didn't sleep at all, and so I haven't been functioning. Now, what went wrong yesterday was with the asset review. It just didn't load in. Well, I finally got to the bottom of it thanks to the creator themselves, but more about that. Let's head straight back down to that start square, and we're going to do 2 of these today. So here's the first of 2 of those asset stings. Yes, it's the NZ Trentham train station by Ali Targers. Yes, Ali was incredibly quick, I mean, suitably quick, let's just say, well within a few hours of getting back to me. So let me know that the problem was that there was probably a missing dependency. This is a great train station. It requires a couple of extra things to subscribe to, and within those, one of them has an extra dependency, some invisible footpaths. And well, fortunately, Ali has added those to the list of dependencies for the train station, which means that it's just a visit the page now. It's all good. But yes, because I was struggling, I mean, literally struggling to keep my eyes open, having to do a full day's work, pumping out content and everything else, plus trying to function as a human being, which is hard enough at the best of times, as you'll all know. Well, yes, so thanks Ali Targers, A, for getting back so quickly with the solution, which has now been saluted, and of course for what is another amazing asset. I always say, one of my favourite creators, Ali Targers. Great work, NZ Trentham train station, Ali Targers from New Zealand. Well, that is anyway. From memory, I think Ali's from Russia. Could be wrong on that one. My memory is still not 100%. I'm not 100% picked up on my sleep patterns, but we're getting there. Right, okay, so enough of this Isle of Skye from yesterday. Let's head over to a top-down view of a map that I think a few of you are going to like. Now, it's got a certain charm to it. As you can see from the shape of it, is what I'm going to refer to as an Istanbul map. I think you reckon if we turn it sideways, you'll see what I mean by an Istanbul map. There's quite a few of these on the workshop. There are a few good ones. There are a lot of really bad ones. This would fall into the quite good ones. 1 or 2 minor grumbles, as always. What do you expect? And the creator that we've seen several times in the past. But before we do the review, it's time to hand over to me for the daily reminder. Okay, let's have a daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Sorry it's taken so long to get into the show, but let's do it. Rossolini Pass by AvoirRev, formerly Rev Official. Double S in that thumbnail, single S in the actual title of the map. There's your start square, that looks pretty usable. Nice little lake in the middle as well, which should be quite pleasing for just a nice aesthetic build. Terrain heights, what you're kind of expecting, and I'm happy with those. Resources are good and strong, and no grumbles with those. Plenty of ore going on here. And then if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, fishing map is a little bit spiky. I think that's got a charm of its own as well. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, DLC wise, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. The theme mixer 2 is in operation with the Rossolini Pass theme mix. Of course, go into Rossolini Pass theme mix to pick up the, I think there's a couple of themes in there that are required. And then we'll be using the Relight Cool LUT. Okay, and down to ground level, and the highways, they look pretty nice. In fact, the whole map looks pretty nice. The dependencies are really low, just 2 tree subscriptions, which keeps it nice and clean. And apparently actually a little bit of help from Mr. Pixel Cat as well. I don't know what Mr. Pixel Cat did. Let us know, Rev. I know you watch this show. Let us know in the comments what it was that Mr. Pixel Cat was doing for you, because again, obviously another really strong creator there. Anyway, nice to see no trees on the roads. That's always a bit of a bugbear, and it's quite clearly being cleaned up to allow for the highway to go through. Now, a little bit of stop-start traffic here where the dirt track is coming in and merging in. Sometimes it stops, sometimes it doesn't. Very easy to fix that with a little tweak of the Move It, just to ease the tightness of the lane merge there. Anyway, yes, this map has got a certain charm. Aesthetically speaking, I think it's one of those maps that I think if you like it, you will really like it. Those of you that aren't so keen on it, well, there's plenty of other maps to swing over to, isn't there? There's plenty. But there's going to be a lot of takers for this map in terms of the aesthetics and, of course, the way that the map is laid out with the break in the middle, a little connection across the middle. You'll see how that's done. Very, very neatly done through the middle as well, I have to say. We do have a little national road running off across here, and there's a little problem with this bridge. Well, 2 little problems. One of them is, you may notice, got some trees. Just a few trees clipping through there. But also, on both sides of the bridge, if we get down a little bit, you don't have to go too low here. A little bit of blue mantle that side, a little bit of blue mantle that side. Very easy to fix as well. One of these days I'm going to get a blue mantle tutorial intermission sorted out, so we can link that one over. But yeah, go to my channel, go to my my tutorials, and you'll find in there a blue mantle tutorial that will give you 3 different solutions for getting rid of that. The highway now will head off towards a tunnel. We've got another lane merge going on here. Also, got the national road going through the rail there, giving you a level crossing. I don't think that's necessarily a huge problem with this particular map, but a few of you might have a problem with it. Anyway, we go to tunnels. Tunnels going through where the ships pass, which means that a little bit of a drop there as well. You see the old drop with the rail in the tunnel. Anyway, yeah, that's where your ships are going to pass through, which means we can avoid going through the big old bridge. No shipping clipping. That's always a good thing. And this is very cleanly, very neatly done. I mean, 1 or 2 minor grumbles, but no grumbles about the custom bridge. This bridge is absolutely on point, and I quite like actually the second pillar as we go across. The second pillar is actually on a little raised island, but yeah, that's perfectly done. Very happy with that. But yeah, on the second one is on the island there, and that's just liking that. Just liking it. Doesn't take much to keep me happy. And then so going from 2 lanes back up to 3 lanes and up into the hill and up into the buildable area, which of course is the start square area. We've got a few more trees bisecting the national roads. Start square intersection here, which we're going to skip right past because it's a nice intersection and we're going to go to the edge of the map. I want to have a look at the rail in a minute. We can't do the rail till we get to the edge of the map. You know how it works? Oh, a little bit of grumble here. This, how did that skip through? I mean, it's just a bump. And again, it's just a couple of taps of the move it button. We'll align that one up. Good bit of work here. Voice is a bit croaky. I'll sort that out in a moment. So, sip of water when we get to the intermission. I'll be fine. And then this is what happens when you've been awake for 48 hours straight. To be fair, I did sleep last night, so I have caught up a bit. But I'm still a struggling. I'm still struggling. The voices are struggling anyway. But yeah, I had a good day at work. Very productive day at work today as well. So, but yes, it's got to the end of another day, and it's like, oh, will you let me rest? There's a little bit of blue mantle under there as well. I think there was a hint of anyway. But yes, my body's saying, look, take a rest, BonBon. Take a rest. I'm fine. I'm fine. I will convince my body that I'm fine, and I'll convince you that I'm fine as well. I am. I'm absolutely fine. It was actually, in some ways, it was quite pleasing because I always want to give you a little bit of actual behind-the-scenes video, and it's very hard for me to actually show you behind-the-scenes video of me recording a gameplay flyover. It's not that fascinating to watch, really. I'll set a camera over my shoulder. You can see the back of my head as I'm recording me. Don't think that would really work. But yes, actually having a reason to show, look, this is what's the problem. Anyway, yes, the rail on the whole is fine. I'll talk about the bits when we get to them, but yeah, the rail on the whole is fine. But yeah, that whistling, it was apparently it's a fire door sensor, and it takes them 48 hours to get the fire engineer down to reset the sensor. It's the second time in a year that that bank has had a fire door whistling. I feel a bit for the bank staff because it was really loud in there during the day and they couldn't switch it off. Poor guys. But then poor me having to, it was like tinnitus. It was really like tinnitus for 48 hours straight, and yeah. The bank's Facebook page, they were really quick at getting back and apologising and feeling for me, and we're so sorry for the inconvenience. That's all they were. Sorry for the inconvenience. Nothing else they could do for me apart from eventually get it fixed. But I think if it happens a third time, we'll get grumpy with them. Yeah. 3 times in the year would be too much. Once in the year is too much, to be honest with you, but 3 times in the year would be way too much to have whistling like that. In fact, I can hear whistling. No, I can't. It's my imagination. But you know when you sort of like your brain suddenly starts hearing things because you're thinking that you can hear things. Oh, a little bit low this bridge here for the rail to go under. But yes, only because I'm thinking about it, I can hear it. I'm going insane. It's like lack of sleep and everything. But yeah, it's all good. Let's say anyway, I'm pretty much all caught up. Certainly by the morning I'll be absolutely peachy. The rail here takes a little bit of a dip underneath the road. I think I'd rather it is the other way round. I'd rather the rail had stayed on the level, and then for the road to either go on the little bridge or maybe just a cutting underneath. Listen, if the rail can go to a cutting, the road can go to a cutting. And that I feel would be better. And then we are right back to where we started, into the middle of the map, which would indicate maybe time for an intermission. We'll come back for the shipping. Promise you there is shipping on this map, which has an interesting error. Minor error. Watch out for that one. See you in a moment after this message.
Who is the mysterious modder? Perhaps the greatest modder of them all. Why the heck are they named after a flightless bird? Find out more when BonBonB met Bloody Penguin and Skylines talk now.
And so back to Rossolini Pass by AvoirRev, formerly Rev Official, and the shipping routes. Right, look, really slick turn off here. Really slick turn off, which will take you down to a potential harbour area down this side, which is very nice. And then as the ships leave the harbour, if they want to go to the other side of the map, they've got to do the sharpest of sharp turns right here. So that's a bit of an oopsie. But it's not the only one. Okay, so we're going to avoid the big old bridge. Everybody loves the big old bridge. And here we've got another nice tight little turn off here that goes all the way down to potential harbour areas on this side of the map. Very nice. Except for if the ship needs to go back the way that we are backing up to, you have to do a sharp old turn here. And then we've got exactly the same going down that side of the island as well. So yeah, we've got a triple one. Anything heading off here, I would disconnect this end. I just have no shipping going through that end at all, and it'd be good. Water flow, there's barely any movement in the water around the start square, but we have access on both sides of the peninsula. So I'm going to suggest that you're probably going to be okay. You even have that lake in the middle as well that you could possibly use. It looks a bit light, but there are options. I think you're probably going to be okay in terms of not polluting your citizens on today's map. Right, overall, map looks great. I'm loving the islands. I'm loving the shapes of the islands. Even though they don't geological make it that much sense to me, I still completely buy into them. And that's a win. That is an absolute win. The shapes are interesting and believable. We've got some pretty nice looking beaches around the outside. I don't think they've been overworked. I'm glad they haven't been overworked actually today. Really interesting shapes as well today, which is always a bonus. If we head over to this side of the map, we've got these national roads, which are it's the national roads that are being covered by these trees. Again, this is anarchy which is causing this. If you don't use anarchy, you won't have this problem, but the trees will still be hiding underneath the roads, being part of the tree count. So it's just something to consider. If you're it's whichever way you want to look at it, but I have to take them into consideration. Then if we head over to this side of the map, there's a nice valley here with quite a pleasing river. I'm going to say it is quite a pleasing river. The bridge at the very end, it looks a bit low. The national bridge there is a little bit low. But after that, this river, I'm okay with this, you know. I've seen a lot less interesting, a lot less well-worked rivers. One or two minor grumbles I can make about a couple of the rocks, but at the end of the day, they'd only be minor grumbles, and I'm glad they're there for interest's sake. So, yeah, all good. All good. Very strong river. Credit for that one. Strong river, strong shape to the map, strong looking networks, well done tunnel, and bridge combo, interesting islands, plenty of good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, it's Saturday, so we'll have a quirky asset today, and it's a quirky asset from a creator who's really making a niche for themselves. They're doing a damn fine job of it as well. One of my another one of my favourite creators. It's SvenBerlin with the horse gallop animation. Now, Sven is all about the animations at the moment. They've made many an asset on the workshop, many good ones. This one, it's just a single horse in the animation, but I've plopped 3 of them down simultaneously just for interest, no other reason. And yeah, they are beautifully done. I've got them on slow-mo. I'll speed them up a little bit as we get to the end of this little flyover. Meanwhile, factoids. Because factoids. I'll tell you what, we'll do 2. Listen, we've had 2 asset reviews. We should have had 2 factoids, shouldn't we? Let's do 2 of them. Let's start off with a group of toads is called a knot. Believe it or group of toads. That's not with a K, by the way. And fillings. Fillings in people's teeth. have been known to pick up radio waves. Oh, maybe that's what's whistling in my head. That's what the whistling in my head is. I'm picking up medium wave. Crazy. Anyway, yes. Where were we? Horse Gallop animation by SvenBerlin. Amazing work, Sven. Amazing work, my friend. Keep it up, please. Oh, I've got so many great creators with so many different niches and genres, modders and animators now, and I just love it. I love this community. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? You, the community, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right corner of your screen. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Apple, Gmail, or a Patreon account. I think you should. I think you should. Meanwhile, I'll let you know what I think of today's map. Aesthetically, I find it quite pleasing. I really do. I find this very pleasing indeed. I'd love to give it a really high score. I'm going to give it a good score. I think this can fall into 4 stars, you know. I want to go for a medium low 4 stars, but still 4 stars is the score to aspire to. So that's a win. Detailing. Again, we've got some very solid detailing on the map. There's quite a lot of it I like, but a lot of trees in roads and 1 or 2 things like blue mantle. I'm going to go for a low 3. I think low 3 for today. Gameplay. I think this is going to appeal to quite a few people. Those trees under the road, I've got to knock it down a little bit on that, but I still think let's go 3 down the middle. Without the trees, pushing towards 4, maybe even into 4. So, Rossolini Pass, that's what that was, wasn't it? Rossolini Pass? I don't know, the words have gone off the screen now. By AvoirRev. AvoirRev? Avoir? It's been lovely. Really enjoyed today's show, for many reasons. Like 2 asset reviews and getting the chance to say, hey, are you still there? If you are, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the words of the day for that capital at the start. You can use the shift button. Use the word of the day into the comments to score yourself some population points. Just fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with the chart show. See you then and have a great day.